Alrighty, so in this video today, we're going to talk about the most hated fish in the hobby, if not the most hated cichlid in the hobby. We are going to go over some of the reasons why this fish is the most hated fish in the hobby, and also some of the information, tips, and tricks on how to make this one of your favorite fish to keep. So let's dive into it, y'all. If you couldn't tell from my thumbnail, the most hated cichlid in the hobby, in my opinion, is the convict cichlid. Now let's talk about it. And now why these fish are the most hated fish in the hobby is because of how much they breed. Now these fish breed pretty much every 2 weeks, so you're talking about a lot of fry. And when you hear the convict cichlid name come in a conversation, everyone's first thought is aggression, and that's true. They are very aggressive, but let's talk about why they're aggressive. A rule of thumb for any person that wants a community tank is that you don't want to have a pair up, because if a pair so happen were to make their home and get comfortable, that's when the aggression is going to start. And as well, the temperature in the tank could play a key role in the aggression as well. So the hotter the temperature of the tank is, the more aggressive they're going to be. And as well, with some of these fish, they love to breed so much. Some people fear of hybridizing, which means some fish that are not supposed to meet at all somehow come together and make fry and make a fish that a lot of people don't like. But it happens. As well, these fish are the most returned fish to a fish store or an LFS because of how much they breed and how aggressive they are. And those are just the regular convicts, but now we're going to switch on over into the pink or the albino, which is basically the offspin of the regular convicts. But in my opinion, they are the most aggressive, and those are the albino or pink convicts. I think they're the most aggressive out of all of the ones that I'm about to list. And this can sort of kind of be an argument of this kind of thing, but we also have the Margle convict, and then we also have the OB convict. You'll start to see these within the hobby sooner or later, but there could be somewhat of a conversation between those, but they are different shades and different colors of those. But in my opinion, they're pretty much docile and they're not as aggressive if you have a few more than just one. Now with this fish, it is very hard to say. It's one of probably my favorite fish because of the colors of it, and that is none other than the T-bar cichlid. I do not know how to say the scientific name of that, and you don't want me to say that because it would be bad. As well with these fish, I think they get a little bit bigger than the fish that I've previously listed, so I would check in on that, but I have seen some fish that get pretty monstrous, so check out some of these if you haven't. They are pretty amazing to grow out, and I love the T-bar cichlids. And also on this list we have the Honduran or the Honduras red point cichlid, and they are the cousin of the convict cichlid. But of all of these cichlids, of all of these are the ones that are actually the most less aggressive. So I highly recommend some of these if you are looking into getting convict cichlids. Alrighty y'all, so I hope throughout this whole entire video you have learned, just because they are related to this fish of the first one, the convict, doesn't mean they're all bad. So this last fish is a very special fish because you won't see it so much. It's a very rare fish to be seen, but some people do have them, and hopefully they will get in some right hands. Alrighty, so this last fish is the yellow convict. Now the yellow convict, you would want to keep them in a species only tank, only in the reason because they are Cares fish, so you want to grow these fish in numbers, so them breeding and reproducing is what you really actually want to do. So with this fish, you will be really sorely a breeder and want to add that notch on your belt. So, and as well, for those who are wanting to breed or breed larger cichlid or dwarf cichlids, in my opinion, the convict cichlids are probably the most easiest cichlids for any beginners that are trying to breed, because they are very hardy and they do breed easily, but they give you an understanding of how cichlids work. So if those who are wanting to breed and trying to different things, go ahead and get you some convicts. You'll see. So So I hope y'all learned a little bit about the convict cichlids and why they feel to be the most hated cichlid or fish in the fish hobby. And as well, if you do like this kind of content, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and ding that notification bell. And as always, be kind, be courteous, and have a wonderful day. So I hope y'all learned a little bit about the most hated convicts. Do me a huge favor, if you do like this kind of content, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and post. Oh my goodness.